Hello everyone, welcome back to a little Lenormand corner of Khải Nguyên. My name is Khải, and today I'm going to do a reading that many of you have been waiting for. This is about the upcoming trial date on August 14, 2026 regarding Kim Se-wi, following his indictment on charges including defamation, coercion, and stalking. So as you can see, I have 4 different decks here that I am going to do a news layout. So which is news stands for north, east, west, and south. So I have the west, which is the prosecution. The east is Kim Se-wi or the defendant. We have north, which is the panel of judges, and I have south, which is the overall outcome and the overall energy of the trial. So please remember that Lenormand provides a mirror into underlying energies and intention. So it is an intuitive reading for entertainment and just for your personal purposes only. It's not a formal legal counsel. So let's dive right into the cards. I would like to start with the west spread first. So see the prosecutor or the prosecutors would have what kind of energies that we can expect it for the trial. Okay, so let's see what the universe is gonna tell me about the energies that represent the prosecution. We have lilies, anchors, birds, compass, and whip. Well, it's actually pretty good. So based on these 5 cards, I can tell that the prosecutors gonna go quite hard on Kim Se-wi. Okay, I can see that the lilies and the anchor that's gonna it's give me the feeling of an incredibly crowded foundation. Okay, which is beneficial for Kim Se-wi. We have lilies that represents legal justice, maturity, long-standing truth, while the anchor shows stability, weight, and unwavering positions. So I can feel that the prosecutors, I don't know if he or she, but that the prosecutors isn't guessing or rushing anything that is unprepared. Okay, so he or she is standing on the rock solid legal grounding and established facts. Okay, in the central over here, let's put it this way. In the central, I have the birds. So to me, this case is very complicated with a lot of information that the prosecutor have to look for and verify the truth, because the birds bring some noise. Okay, so it means that some of the information is not the truth. It's not true at all, and the prosecutors have to investigate very deeply to see all of these information or rumors or facts. And I think the prosecutor is very keen on the decision and have a lot of reliable facts based on the lilies and the anchors over here. And the prosecutor has felt like a clear way, a clear path to follow to find out the reality, the truth behind all of these uncovered matters or issues here. Okay, and the prosecutor with the whip over here, I can see that he or she is very, very sharp. Okay, very cold headed. Okay, and with the combination of the birds and the compass, I think there are a lot of factors that associated with communications, arguments, public dialogue, and that communications is being strictly guided into the right direction. Okay, so I think the prosecutor knows exactly which path to navigate. Okay, they are not getting distracted by the media noise here. I think they are steering the courtroom dialogue directly toward the factual core of the case. And with the whip at the ends over here, like I said, to describe a person like a prosecutor, that person is very, very sharp. Okay, their verbal behavior is not so comfortable to be listened to. So I think it's kind of describe the personality and the characteristics that a prosecutor should have. Okay, so it's not easy to argue with. Okay, and whip also means conflict. So here at the end of the prosecution spread, it represents sharp cross-examination, persistent questioning, and relentless legal force. So the prosecutor is ready to hold the defense strictly accountable, and she is putting intense pressure on any inconsistency. So overall, this west direction shows a prosecution team. I don't know if actually like an individual prosecutor or multiple prosecutors, but if there's multiple, it could be a very strong team. And the prosecutors is very calm, okay, legally grounded, perfectly navigated, and is ready to apply heavy pressure where it counts. Okay, so yeah, I have a very good feeling about the prosecution team. Okay, I think they are trying to achieve the highest level of like legal belief, okay, to make everyone else have trust and belief in the legal system. All right, so far that is a good sign. I really like the fact that this combination can tell me that the prosecution is very, very strong. Okay, and they are solid on all of the evidence. Okay, super sharp on the cross-examination and questioning. Okay, so that is something very good to start. All right, now let's move on to the east side, and we're gonna see how the defendant, Kim Series, and his lawyer gonna deal in this court case. We have dice. So to me, I think Kim Se-wi and his lawyer is really hope for luck to be on their side. A dog that represents the lawyer, garden, which is the public. We have fox, could be schemes, anything that is tactical. And we have the tower. Not so bad on Kim Se-wi's side, but I think they are trying very hard to fight against the prosecutor. So again, the dice represents the hope for luck. So in the past, whenever this card shows up in Kim Soo-yeon's or Kim Soo-won's reading, I usually say that maybe the goddess of luck will usually be on their side. Okay, so there's a lot of hope in it. In this situation, Kim Se-wi, I think he is praying non-stop for the goddess of luck to be on his side. The dice, which is immediately giving me the feeling about high risk gambling and unpredictable outcome. Okay, so the defense isn't standing on solid ground. Kim Se-wi is rolling the dice and trying last minute legal gambits to see what might stick. All right, and right next to the dice we have the dog and the garden. So usually I said the dog is the lawyer, the attorney, or like the lawyer supporters, the allies, or the core network. All right, so I think in this situation, I think this could represent his attorney that trying to use a lot of his tactics and plans, especially focusing on the garden, which is the public arena, social media, and online audiences. Okay, and at the same time, the garden also means social media, right? So I think maybe is it connected with this tower, which is Garasaro's Research Institute? I think the lawyer may turn the accusation of Garasaro Institute by accidentally being misleading by the public. Okay, I think he's gonna turn the case and try to blame the public rather than Kim Se-wi. Okay, that is, it could be one of the thought that I can get from these cards, right? Or this combination can reveal where the lawyers in Kim Se-wi's focus that has always been relying on the public platform, okay, the fan base, the media echo chamber to support and protection. So yeah, I think because the evidence and the investigation that the prosecutor had inside is very strong, that the lawyer and Kim Se-wi on this side cannot really beat and mislead the facts anymore. Okay, to compare on both sides, the prosecution team is really strong. Okay, the lawyers in Kim Se-wi, I don't see any solid support that they can be on the same level to fight against the prosecution team here. Okay, I think this tower can also mean the isolation. They don't have any strong foundation, and they stay on a very weak spot. Okay. And again, the fox, it is the symbol of cunning tactics, manipulation, questionable strategy. But then when the fox is next to the tower, which is also the court, the institutional authority, and legal containment, I think the game stops. All right, so the dice at the beginning here is the hope of the game, but then the tower showing up at the end is mean the game is game over. The tower can sometimes represent prison. Okay, so yeah, I don't really see anything truly bright for Kim Se-wi over here. Yeah, so I think overall this spread tell me that Kim Se-wi and the defendant team, they are running straight into the cold, immovable wall of the judicial system, which is the tower here. So in short, I think this spread or this combination shows Kim Se-wi, who relies on public noise and risky maneuver, but whose clever tactics are ultimately boxed in by the formal legal reality. Okay, so to me, the towers mean he is trapped. Yeah, so so far I think the prosecution have a really good foundation, and I think the weight is heavier on the prosecution side. Yeah, especially with the anchor, which is very heavy here. I really hope that the prosecution will gonna take advantage of their solid evidence. All right, let's move on to the third spread to see what would be the energy for the panel of the judges in this court case. We have Rider, Men. Oh, okay. So maybe the main judge, or like the head judge, or most of the judges will be male. We have Anchor again. Okay. So I feel like the judges gonna bring a very solid news. Okay, very official. We have the House, another solid and strong foundation. So I think whatever the judges say, it's very hard to change. So maybe if they gonna have the final verdict for this case, I think it's very difficult for Kim Se-wi to have another appeal. Oh, look. So to me, I think that's card associated very strong to Kim Soo-hyun. All right, so to me, I think the energy of that spread enhance this combination for the prosecution team. So I have a feeling that it's gonna be a very good result, court case. Okay, so yeah, I have a lot of hope for this by looking at these cards. So to be short, I think the male judge who's taking a central role may take a swift control of the courtroom, and he will actively reviewing the incoming motions and processing the files without delay. Okay. Even though the anchor in the house shows up here, I still think that there should be no delay because the energy of the writer is the start off energy, so I don't see any delay over here. So the anchor stands for rock solid stability and absolute impartiality, and the house represents the establishment, order, and maintaining a secure, controlled courtroom environment. Okay, so together I think this combination of the anchor and the house shows that the judges are grounded in procedure, and they will not allow circus tactics or outside noise to disrupt the sanity of the courtroom. Okay, so I think the law is their home and they are holding the line firmly. And the spread has the end, which is the clover here. And clover brings a sense of ease, positive momentum, and small windows of clarity. So to me, this suggests that the panel of judges will navigate and proceeding smoothly, making quick and fair rulings on the procedural matters and keeping the trial moving forward cleanly. So to me, this combination gives me a very clear picture of an active, decisive judge who is deeply anchored in the court rules, maintaining absolute control and favoring clear and straightforward progress. And I just realized that in each of the spread here, we both have a card. We all have a card regarding communications in a different way. So for the prosecution, we have the birds, which is communications, rumors, noises. Okay, so I think these they are the evidence that the prosecutors heavily focus on. All right, and on that side, I think the communications is about the social media and the public. All right, so with the garden and the fox, so I think it's talking about the defamation and manipulation and like the fabrication of all of the AI related the AI materials. Okay, and with the communication card in the judges card spread here, this is more about announcements, okay, to deliver the news, the official news to the public. Okay, so this court case will gain so much public attention. All right, so I think that's why all three decks so far, they all have communication factors in it. All right, so far I think the panel of judges agree with the prosecution team, and I really hope that they will have a really fair rulings on the sentence for Kim Se-wi. All right, let's move on to the final result. of this trial. Okay, let's see. We have the women. Cross. Coffin. Wow. It could be a burden that will be ended in release this woman out of the pain, out of the box, out of the dark here. All right. But I hope this ending card of this coffin will bring the positivity, the whip, and the mice. You know what? These cards, they don't have like a pleasant energies. However, the negativities combines with another negativities, it will bring the positivity. So here it is ending the conflicts and argument, ending all of the erosion or all of the losses, okay, ending the pain, okay. And it's very interesting to see the female energy over here. I don't know what this female energy gonna play the role in the trial. I don't know if this woman is someone from the prosecution team, or she is a witness that play a very important role in the whole court case. Okay, so let me take a closer look and combine with all of the cards in this deck to see. It's just give me a reminder of this women in a coffin. I don't know if they refer to the late actress Kim Se-ron. Okay. So the coffin, it means the death. It means the end. So like the whole thing is starting up with all of the controversies, arguments, and conflicts. So I think after this court case is finished, I think all of the pains and the conflicts gonna be gone. And also, I think if it's related to the late actress Kim Se-ron, I think she maybe rest in peace, because she can be removed of all of these pains and burdens that maybe she did not intend to create and cause those conflicts and argument and all those challenges and difficulties. Okay, so I think I really hope that at the end she will be rest in peace. Okay, yeah, this cross, it is a heavy burden. It is karma. It is inescapable legal accountability. Okay, so I think this court case gonna finish the long overdue issue in this situation. Okay, so coffin, again, it is one of the most definitive cards in Lenormand. It signifies total closure, an end to a cycle, and a permanent shutdown of something. So again, I think the coffin marks the finality of the false narratives, the end of public intimidation tactics and the collapse of the defendant's position. Okay? And maybe after this, Kim Soo-hyun's gonna be clear of, gonna have his tie cut for Kim Soo-hyun. Okay, so maybe after this, he doesn't really have any more relation tied to her, I think. All right, and with the whip and the mice here, I think there could be some strict penalties, some legal sanctions, and severe accountability handed down by the courts. I think on the good side, I think it's gonna end the anxieties and the stress, but on another side, I think it will remove the erosion and total decay away from Kim Soo-hyun. Okay, so maybe this could be a complete breakdown of Kim Soo-hyun over time. All right, so in short, I think that the final result, the overall outcome, energies here delivers a powerful message, which is the public harassment and manipulation reaches its absolute wall. Okay, it leads to a heavy legal consequences and a total erosion of Kim Soo-hyun. All right. Yeah, I don't really see any hope for Kim Soo-hyun in this case. Okay, I think the judges gonna rule in favor of the prosecution team. Yep, I really hope anything that will happen will be good for Kim Soo-hyun. All right, and I hope all the best gonna happen to Kim Soo-hyun, and Kim Soo-hyun have to pay for whatever he did in the past. Okay, he have to pay for everything. The karma is real. All right, so thank you for watching today's Lenormand breakdown, and let me know what card combination stood out to you the most. Okay, so drop your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, see you.